Oh, you want a movie? Well, I got a movie for you. I got a movie you can watch. It's called Blood Red Sky, or maybe also in some places, also called Transatlantic 473. It's a 2021 Netflix original horror thriller directed by Peter Thorwarth. It's mostly German. Most of the characters speak German most of the time, but some of it is in English. Yeah, you might have to read a little bit of subtitles. Get over it, you kindergarten babies wrapped up in gravy. So here's the story. Nadia, a terminally ill woman, is taking a transatlantic flight from Germany to America to get a state-of-the-art treatment. She has brought her son Elias with her, but the plane is hijacked by terrorists. That alone is enough for a movie. That's Die Hard on a plane. Nothing to complain about. Just fine premise on its own. But Mildred, that doesn't sound like a horror movie. I thought this was a channel for horror movies, not action thrillers. What's the matter? Too scared to talk about Fear Street? No, actually, I'm not. That's next week. I fear nothing. Here's the thing, and I'm excited to share this information with you, but it's a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, it kind of is and it kind of isn't, because it's in all of the movie's marketing materials and on the poster, and even the title kind of alludes to it. But the movie doesn't even hint at it until 30 minutes in. I mean, there are little clues, but they have much more plausible explanations in the fiction. The thing about Nadia is, you see, she's not dying of cancer, as the film goes out of its way to imply. Instead, her thing, what's going on with Nadia, of course, is that she is a Dracula. So if you just rolled your eyes, you don't deserve movies. You're not allowed to have movies. That's a fun idea, and it's okay for things to be fun sometimes. I need this. I need this right now. What follows is surprisingly tense, sad, and frantic. BRS doesn't go for the Anne Rice or even like Lost Boys type of human-seeming vampire. It's more like a 30 Days a Night kind of vampire where they will absolutely fuck your shit up. This isn't like a Byronic romantic loner. This is a wild animal hijacking a human body to rip out throats and drink blood. And the more they give in to that temptation, the more monstrous they become, eventually looking kind of like Nosferatu's. Nadia is grounded by her love for Elias and has mysterious vampire medicine she can take, but other vampires just give in and become beasts. When there is a vampire on screen in this movie, it's a big deal. There is no winking at the camera here. It is never played for laughs that there is a vampire on this plane. Every character that sees the vampire is like, okay, well, vampires are real, and I guess now I gotta deal with this situation. It's not funny that there's a vampire here. It's scary, because it's scary that the vampire is on the plane. And folks, the cast sells it. There are some scenes in this movie that, may I remind you, is Die Hard on a plane, but John McClane is a vampire, that are genuinely scary. I don't get affected by horror movies very often. I'm pretty numb to them at this point. But I don't know, something about the vampos in this one get under my skin a little, particularly this guy. Perry Baumeister has an incredibly physical performance as Nadia, where you can really feel her struggle to contain the evil taking hold of her. You can really tell she's this horrible monster clinging desperately to her humanity. But there ain't a weak link in this cast. You know who especially deserves a shout out is Carl Anton Koch, the kid who plays Elias, and when this kid cries, let me tell you, it hurts. You do not want to see this young man cry. It hurts your heart. It makes you want to hug him. Also, shout out to Dominic Purcell, who you probably know from Prison Break, but I know from the CW's Legends of Tomorrow because I'm a big nerd. Look, I don't know what to tell you. This shit ain't gonna change your life. It's exactly what it says on the tin. You're either on board with the concept of a vampire on a plane, or you're boring. You bore me. If you hear this premise and worry that it would be some sort of self-effacing, jokey, meta, oh, we're being silly, but we're in on the joke type of horse shit, I'm here to tell you, it's a real movie with realistic characters that have clear motivations. It's just a solid B movie, a fun little premise explored to its logical conclusion. It makes you invest in the characters, it sets up the set pieces, it has plenty of surprises, it does all of the things it needs to do. And they keep finding ways to up the ante, to put the characters in greater and greater danger. And given that the movie starts with a plane being hijacked by terrorists who unwittingly unleash a vampire, that should tell you something, because that is already a pretty dangerous situation to find oneself in. I suspect also that the movie has something to say about dealing with terminal illness and grief or whatever, but to be honest, that message gets a little muddied by the third act. Nadia's situation is very tragic, and you do feel for her the entire movie, but it's difficult for me to relate it to anything in the real world because it feels so specific. Like, maybe it's about how when you're dying, you watch it hurt people and that makes you feel like a monster, and like the ways that your body transforms are kind of out of your control and you see yourself and you don't recognize yourself anymore. I don't know, she's a Dracula. Hey, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but did I mention that the vampire is on a plane? What's the deal with airline blood? Have I destroyed all my credibility by being lukewarm on Saint Maud but loving this goofy shit? I don't know. I don't care. Blood Red Sky is an absolute blast. 2 dogs die in it, so there's that. I'm not going to deny that 2 dogs are killed. I have fulfilled my contractual obligation to tell you when the dog dies. I cannot stress this point hard enough. The vampire is on the plane, and she fights the terrorists. There's nothing I can say about it that is more interesting than what the movie is about, because nothing is more interesting than what this particular movie is about. If that sounds interesting to you, go watch Blood Red Sky. If it doesn't, rewind this video and watch it again until you hear the words that I said about how it's about a vampire on a plane. And then, when you smarten the fuck up, go watch the movie. Hey, it's me, Bobby Duke, star of the channel. Now right away you might notice I'm looking a little different than usual. That's because I went out and got myself a new suit. Glad you like it. Hey, like and subscribe to this channel, why don't you? I can't have one where I'm just telling you to like and subscribe for a change.